Hey everyone, a spirited drop from my garden today. I've just had a big sort of afternoon on my computer, so I've come outside to get a bit of the balmy breeze and a few spots of rain, which is just beautiful. And I wanted to report in on what's happening in our live psychic development circle. So these are live classes that are part of a Spirited Living membership. They're every Tuesday, alternating between an AM time and a PM time to help people in different time zones get involved. And we've got quite a few new members, which is just excellent. And so there's a few people who are seasoned that have been doing the psychic development classes for some time. And then there are new people who are new to psychism, very curious, and want to see what they're capable of. And today we did remote viewing. So this is super exciting, and they all did it accurately and beautifully. So remote viewing, they're paired off. And the exercise that we had is that each person came to the call with a photograph of an object of meaning that they'd hidden in their home somewhere. And the intention for the class is we talked about what remote viewing is, and then they paired off, and they took it in turns to, they had a look at the photograph of the object that they were remote viewing for, and they took it in turns to move their awareness into each other's homes and find the object. And they did, even the newbies, and which is super exciting. So what is remote viewing? So there are a number of different frames for this, and we talked through all of them. So one frame could be that you are moving your non-local awareness into the space of the other person. In our case on the call, people were based, some in Singapore, in Canada, and then there was somewhere else, I think Australia, I can't remember. And you're moving your awareness with permission from the person into their space, with the intention, having seen the object that you're looking for, to walk through their space with your awareness and energetically and find the object. That's one frame. Another frame is that what you're really doing is you're reading the information within the person's aura, within their subconscious mind, and which is also non-local, and you are finding the referencing to the object within the home, wherever they put it before the call. Either way, it works. So the idea is obviously that you need to hold a very strong intention, believe that it's possible, that you can move your awareness into another place or into the thought of the person who's hidden the object, and very gently allow the current of the truth of where that object is to move your awareness to the right room, then in the right place. So it's not particularly clairvoyant, even though it's called remote viewing, which gives you the sort of idea that you're seeing, like you're peeking into someone's home. It's more an energy movement and a flowing one. And so I really encourage the guys today to speak as they were moving psychically through the other person's house. Like, I feel like I'm walking through the front door. I feel like there's a room on the left. It feels like a kitchen, and so on, whether it's right or wrong. And for them to feel into the energy current of what they're doing and follow that to where they find the object. And they all did it. It was just amazing and so exciting for them. And for some of them, they got the room and they got the nature of the object. So one example is one of the girls knew she was in a very big room, which is true. She was in the largest room in the house, and knew that the object had been taken from a dark place and a tight place and been put somewhere where there is a lot of light. And that's true. So the object was in a large room. The other person on the call had taken it from a bookcase and put it on a windowsill, which is flooded with light. This was in Canada, even though it was nighttime. But the working psychic knew that there was that transition. There was another example where the psychic knew that it was in the bedroom, and she was drawn to the left bedside table next to the bed, which was correct. But that's where the object was normally kept, and it had been moved. And so her person she was working with said that's where it normally is, but it's been moved. And the working psychic couldn't move away from the bedside table. She kept getting drawn back to that area of the room, and it turned out that the journal, which was the object, had been moved off the bedside table and slipped under the pillow right next to it. So it's that kind of accuracy, which is just amazing. We talked about how our homes, particularly our spaces, are actually very vibrant fields of energy, which are loaded up with the psychic energy of the people that dwell there, the events that have been happening in there, the conversations that have happened in there, and also the geometry of the building and all of the stories that have gone into creating that building, decorating that space, all of the objects in that space that all have story, that all have vibrational stories. So space itself is a dynamic field, and the objects themselves are a dynamic field. I thought what was interesting is the journal, which the student in Canada located. She located that very, very quickly and had a very strong sense of where it was. And of course, the journal is a very high vibration item, because I know this person journals every day. She loves her journal. She does spiritual practice in the Spirited Living group. She's also an ontological coach, so journaling is a big part of that. So her journal would have a very strong vibration of her, which I believe influenced the read and made it so accurate and so swift. You know, they had 15 minutes each to blend with each other and find the object, and she found it within the first couple of minutes, you know. So objects as well, we think of it like, oh, it's a crystal, it's dead, it's sort of solid, it's not living. But in the psychic world, objects hold stories, you know, and they speak stories, and they have layered imprints of all the people that have held them and worked with them and applied their own awareness to them. And this was a really important premise that we talked about before we went into the exercises. So just another normal Tuesday afternoon in Spirited Living. We're remote viewing through each other's houses across the world. We'll be doing remote viewing again next week in the PM call. And of course, it's not too late to join, and you're not left behind. So it's open to all levels, and you get a really strong explanation of what's going on, plenty of time to practice, and time for feedback and instruction as well. So if this sort of thing interests you, where you want to go, ooh, can I really do that? Is my awareness able to do that? Then join us. SpiritedLivingWithDanny.com. Okay, everyone, I'll leave that with you. I hope it's got you thinking. Bye.